Hello guys, Ben here, aka the UK Fish Slayer. I know this is not the regular setting that you see me in, where I'm either out on my little boat or on the shorefront, but welcome to the Sakuma channel and welcome to Sakuma Tackle and Rig Talk, where we are going to be hopefully putting out a regular short video on the channels, running through some of the very high quality and exciting tackle that Sakuma supply. We're going to make some of the popular rigs that we all like to use and you'll see me using regularly in my videos. We're going to have a chat about some new stuff when it comes out and as and when it comes out, and also we may just sneak you out on location and put some of the theory into practice, and some of the rigs that we may just winkle you out a fish or two as well. So stay tuned. We're going to get down to it on this first ep, making one of my go-to rigs for all winter fishing, particularly cod on the beach, and that is the up and over rig. As I say, I'll whiz you through components and I'll whiz you through how I make it, and also tell you about the applications where you may think about using it. So here we have a spread of all the components you're going to need to make the up and over rig. And if I just quickly whiz you through them, we have got, because we're making rigs for cod on this occasion, we have got a variety in different sizes of the Sakuma Manta Extra hooks, ranging from 1/0 to 5/0, but typically when I'm fishing for cod, I almost always opt for either 4/0 or 5/0. We've got some lead clips there. We have got some bait and rig clips, some 5mm beads. I've got the lovely fluorescent orange colour on those ones, really like them. Swivels of your choice. I've got size 2 round eye swivels there. That's what I'll be using. About the size 2 is where you're looking to go for your rig. Size 2 or size 4 I would say. And then we've got rig body ×2, as you can see. One is £50, one is 60. I'll be using £60 as the actual rig body. I'm fishing over on my trip that I'm planning over clear ground. Don't need to be going anything beyond that. The rig body in £50 is going to be used for hook snood. So I will happily and readily use rig body, the Sakuma clear rig body, in the £50 and the £60 for my hook snood, fishing for cod, muddy water. £50 rig body for the snood is bang on. So let's get a cracking and knock up one of these rigs. Here we have all of the components now laid out in front of what you're going to need to make one rig. You're going to need a swivel, a pair of beads, 2 beads, a rig clip, a bait and rig clip, a pair of hooks. I've gone for size 4/0 Manta Extras. We're going pennel style on the hookups. You need a lead clip for your clip down rig. You're going to need your rig body ×2, hook snood and rig body. You're also going to need to make the rig, obviously, a pair of scissors, a lead to pull everything nice and straight and check it out when it's done, and also, very usefully, a couple of little rig ties, so at the end you can just wrap it up and keep it all nice and neat. First things first, we need a bit of rig body, so I'm going to start off by pulling about almost 5 feet worth of our £60 rig body off, and just snip that off. Now, when I'm making my rigs, I've got to say it that I just do it by feel. I'm not here with a tape measure and working out the exact lengths of things. I just get a feel of, roughly speaking, what species I'm fishing for, how I want the rig designed, and incidentally we're fishing for cod, so I like a nice long flowing rig when I'm fishing for cod. It always pays dividends to have a nice flowing trace in the tide, and it always seems to serve me well. So again, I'm not telling you guys how to fish. Please don't think that this is how you have to do it, and if the knots I use are not the knots you use, carry on using your knots. You know, everybody has their own styles. This is just an example of what I like to do and how I like to fish things, and I'm sure if you've seen me on my channel, you know, I generally do winkle a few fish out. So you know, if it works for you, crack on with it. But anyway, we've got our rig body, as I say, about 5 feet worth. And the first thing we're going to do is tie on the your rig bait clip. In fact, let me just hold that right out to you there so you can see that. Now that's the one with the little turned clip on, and we're going to tie that with a clinch knot, and that's generally when I'm doing my rigs again, that's typically my knot of choice. So we've got our rig and bait clip, end of our rig body. We're now going to do a simple clinch knot to tie that on the end, and a simple clinch knot is putting it through the eye, and we're just going to wrap it round and round 4 or 5 times. There we go. We're going to literally get the tag end and put it back through the hole that we've made with our finger, and then simply with a bit of lubrication pull it nice and tight, and there we have it. That's the first process. We have got now, there we go, we have got now a lovely barreled knot. We'll just cut the tag end off. Not overly tight. We'll leave a little bit on there, but not too much. And there you see it. That is the first step. On the open end of your rig body, we're going to take one of the 5mm beads and thread that on. We are then going to take the rig clip, which is the much smoother clip, and this here is going to be used almost like a running slider for your lead to be attached to. So we are going to thread that on, free running. We are then going to add on the second bead. So we've got sandwiched in between the 2 beads, as you can see, your free sliding rig clip there. And right on the end, we are then going to close the whole rig off with our swivel, and again we're going to use the clinch knot, tie the swivel on the end. Same process again, all straightforward. There we go. Ooh. Just pull it down, bit of lubrication, pull it tight. Make sure you give it a nice tight tug to make sure it's all set in position. Again, hold the line, cut the tag end off, leave a little bit for security factors, and there you have the main body of the rig made up. So what you're now left with is your rig and bait clip attached to your rig body, and then you've got this free running two beads, buffer beads. You've got your rig clip which slides freely up and down, and you've then got your rig body flying all the way down to your swivel. We're now going to attach the breakout lead clip, because that's what our lead's going to be attached to. So there you see it. I'll just whiz that to you there, and now you've got the breakout lead clip attached also, all free sliding. We'll pop this to the side, and now we're going to make the hook snood ready to connect up to the rig. So as I said it before, I'm using £50 Sakuma clear rig body actually for the hook snood, and I've got a pair of 4.0 Sakuma Manta Extra hooks. So let's get cracking on it. I'll start off with peeling off about a good 5 feet worth of hook snood. I love a nice long flowing trace when I'm fishing for cod, for smooth hounds, for rays. For most species, I will have a nice long flowing trace. So, as I say, about 5 feet of your hook snood. And very simply, we are going to start off with the pennel hook, which is going to be the top hook. Now, you want to turn the pennel facing up the snood. And so when it sits upturned like so, and you're able to wrap it around a couple of times and hold that hook in place. The pennel tubing is really good stuff also. This time we're just going to go with plain hooks wrapped around your snood. You can see that's lovely held in place, facing the right way. And then on the business end, the point hook, which is another 4/0 Manto Extra, and we are going to secure that on with a clinch knot, as we've done with the swivels, etc. So we'll just give that a quick twist around. I'll pull it in. There we go. Pull it nice and tight, and trim the tag end off. Again, just leave a little bit on there. You don't need to go ultra close to your knot, because the fish don't care less if there's a small tag end there. And actually, when you're putting whipping on and baits on, sometimes it helps just to hold it in place. Now, let me just unravel that and put these two a little closer together for the camera. There we go. So that there is your pennel setup. You have got 2 hooks, one free running on the hook snood, one fastened to the point end, ready to roll. Next step is to take the opposite end of the hook snood, and we're simply going to fasten that or tie it on to our swivel on the rig. So again, a clinch knot, spin it round and round and round. We're going with around 4 to 5 twists there, and there you see it halfway through. Little bit of lube, pull it tight, trim it off. Now we're going to pop the lead onto the clip. There we go, which is on. So here we have the finished rig. We've got this end with the upturned clip, which is going to attach to your shock leader, and that's going to run all the way down on the rig body. Here we see the bead, and we see the lead, which is free sliding on the rig body. We've got the hook snood all the way down, follow it down, 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 and we've got a pair of nice Sakuma Manto Extra hooks there. Now, the whole basis and essence of this rig is that it is literally a running lead that you can cast out from the beach and clip it down without everything spinning around, snagging and blowing up during the cast. So for those of you that are familiar with doing fishing from the boat, particularly for things like cod and rays also, you know, a go-to rig for nearly 99.9% of people on the boat for a cod or ray fishing or even smooth hounds will be simplicity itself, running leads. This rig here is basically a running lead off of the beach. Now let me just show you how it all clips down and sits in place. And there we have it, rig done. Now, the up and over does exactly what it says on the tin, and when you are casting it out to get it clipped down and into casting mode, you simply will take your baited hooks, hook them onto your lead clip, like so, and then you'll take the hook snood, which is now basically forming a bit of a loop, pull it all the way up to your lead clip, your upturned bait and lead clip, hook it over, pull it all nice and tight, and there you go. You'll see now what we've got. We've got your hooks in the clip, and you've got, as we run all the way down through the rig body, you have got your hook snood folded over the top of the upturned bait and rig clip and running all the way back up to the lead clip. Once it all hits the water, the lead clip will pop off, release, and then what will happen is you're simply fishing in the tide your lead with a long, free-flowing trace. And there you have it, guys. One nice up and over rig, all wrapped up, all strapped up, ready to go straight into the rig wallet, and hopefully on my next trip out catch me a biggie. I hope that you can take a few tips from this episode. If you are thinking about doing a bit of cod fishing off the beach, I would strongly recommend get yourself onto these rigs, because they are definitely, for me, a go-to. I catch a lot of rays on them also, I'm going to say it, although they're not my only or go-to rig for rays, but you do catch a lot of rays on them. Remember that if you're fishing for decent sized fish and you're fishing over heavier grounds, you can change the rig body, you can change the hook snood. I'm using this for illustration purposes. We've gone £60 on the rig body. If you are needing to go up to the 70 or £100 rig body, that's entirely your call. I'm not here to tell you how to fish, but certainly would hopefully love to help you along to catching a nice PB cod. See you next time, folks, and enjoy your fishing.